The landlord had had enough. Months of unpaid rent had pushed him to his limit, and on the morning of July 9, 2025, he finally got court approval to evict the tenant. With police in tow, he reached the flat and banged on the door. Once, twice, thrice, but no one answered. With a legal warrant in hand, they forced the door open, and what they saw inside turned their stomachs. A body, so badly decomposed, so infested with maggots, that the face was beyond recognition. The stench was overwhelming. Death had been living here for weeks, or maybe months. This was the apartment rented by the actress and influencer Humira Asgar Ali. But was it her body? If yes, how did she die? And if not, then whose corpse had been rotting here in plain sight? And the bigger question, how did no one notice until now? You are watching Criminally Curious, and this is the story of the mysterious death of Pakistani actress Humaira Asgar Ali. She was once seen on red carpets, dressed in designer clothes, smiling for cameras. But now, her body was found rotting on the floor of her locked apartment. Her skin had peeled off, her bones were visible, and maggots were crawling all around her. The smell of death was so strong officers had to cover their noses. Her face, once known to thousands, was now completely destroyed. Her name was Humaira Asgar Ali, an actress and a model, a rising name in Pakistan's TV and film world, and she was dead all of a sudden, alone, unnoticed, for weeks. The country was still trying to digest the sudden death of Aisha Khan, a well-known actress who had been found dead just a few weeks earlier. And now, another shocking case, another woman from the same industry, gone too soon. But this one, it's even more mysterious. Humaira had come to Karachi to chase her dreams. She wanted to make a name in the entertainment world, like so many do. For the past 7 years, she had lived alone in a flat in the Ittihad Commercial Defense Phase 6 area. She acted in dramas like Ehsan Faramosh, appeared in the movie Jalebi, and gained fame from a reality show called Tamasha Gar. She was also active on social media, winning awards and building a fan base. And then, without warning, she vanished. No new posts, no updates, no photos. Her online presence also slowly died out. Neighbors hadn't seen her in over 2 months, and naturally, her rent hadn't been paid since the year 2024. Still, no one bothered to check on her. Until the landlord filed a legal complaint. When the officers finally got in, they were hit with a wave of stench. The body was lying on the floor. It had decayed badly. Flesh was falling off the bones. Insects had taken over. A mobile phone was lying nearby. And next to it, a magazine with her name on it. They called the forensic team. The body was sent to Jinnah Postgraduate Medical Center. Dr. Samia Syed, one of Pakistan's top forensic experts, said the condition of the body showed it had been there much longer than just a few days or weeks. But the confusion is, how did they know it was Humaira if the face was completely decayed? Actually, the flat was rented in her name. The magazine lying beside the body had her picture, and it was also a woman's body. So they did their math. Still, only a DNA test could confirm it 100%. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. No one from her family had reported her missing. No friend had contacted the police. No one had ever come looking for her. So, what really happened? Did she take her own life? Did she take pills? Was it a natural death? Or was someone else involved? Initially, it doesn't look like that. Because, in her merely small, 2-room flat, there was a heavy iron door guarding the entrance, followed by a wooden door inside, both locked from the inside. In fact, every door was locked from the inside. The balcony was shut. It was like nobody else had entered. The only open window was in the room where her body was found. That window opened to the backside of the building. That tiny opening may be the reason why no one noticed anything sooner. The strong smell of decomposition had a way out, and it drifted slowly into the open air. Because there were no signs of a break-in, no window broken, no signs of struggle or fight, no stain of blood. But amidst all these, only one strange thing caught eyes. Her flat was in a secure building, with CCTV cameras everywhere, both inside and outside. The police were checking if any footage from 2 months ago was still available, but the camera right outside her door was not working. So, no footage was found. Could it be an attempt to hide something? Besides, that magazine near her body was kind of her last celebration. It was like an award to her, something she had proudly posted about on social media not long before she vanished. So, why would someone who was still celebrating her success just give up? Plus, she was only 32. She had dreams and a lot of fans. But when she vanished out of the blue, no one came looking for her. So, what really happened behind the closed door? Who was the last person she spoke to? What was the last message she sent? When the police searched the place, they found her phone. Using her SIM card, they tracked her last few calls. They hoped it would help them find her family, and it did. But that's where the real shock came in. When the police contacted her father and her brothers, they straight out told them that, to the family, she was dead years ago. Her father said, "We have no connection with her anymore. We don't want to claim her body." Her brother also refused, saying, "We haven't spoken to her in over 1.5 years." People were stunned seeing the reaction of her family. But why was her family so stone cold even after her unnatural death? What happened that made her own family cut her off completely? To find the answers, we have to go back to her past. By birth, Humaira was from Lahore, Punjab. She was the youngest in her family. She had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Her father was from Kashmir. Her mother was from Kasur. Both had worked in the Pakistan Armed Forces. So, it was a strict and traditional household. But Humaira was different. She had big dreams. She wanted to be in showbiz. She studied hard, completed an MPhil degree, and then moved to Karachi to follow her goals. She rented a small flat in DHA's Ittihad commercial area and lived alone for the next 7 years. In 2022, she went through a huge transformation. She lost around 30 kilograms. She changed her look completely. She posted workout videos, diet tips, and photos in bold clothes. The internet praised her. But her family? They didn't like it. In fact, her parents were never happy with her online presence and joining showbiz. They didn't even support her lifestyle. They wanted her to settle down and get married like other girls in any conservative family do. But Humaira wanted to grow in her career. Naturally, the arguments kept building, and in the end, they stopped talking to her altogether and kind of banned her from the family. And that's how, for almost 2 years before her death, she had 0 contact with her family. Meanwhile, in these 7 years, she tried everything: acting, modeling, and Instagram content as an influencer. At first, things were slow but steady. She was getting noticed. She was building a name. But then, around the middle of 2024, everything started going downhill. During the investigation, it turned out that her last phone call was in October 2024. Her last text message? Also October. Her last post on social media? A picture with her mother, shared in October. The food inside her fridge had expiry dates from December, but those groceries had been bought in September and October. Her electricity bills had been paid regularly. Until October. After that, the power was cut also, and all signs point to October 2024. So, technically, that's when she died. And between October 2024, her last known activity, and July 2025, when her body was found, almost 9 months passed with complete silence. The last person who worked with her was a stylist named Danish. Their final shoot was on October 6, 2024. When, a few days later, he tried calling her for another project, her phone was off. She never responded again. Still, people asked, why didn't the neighbors notice anything? Why didn't anyone smell the decay? Basically, the flat next to hers had been empty for some months. The family who lived there had gone to their village in September and didn't return until February. By that time, the strongest smell had already passed. Experts say that the worst odor from a dead body usually lasts only the first few months, and this apartment building only had 2 flats on each floor, so no one else was close enough to notice anything was wrong. However, more striking was the fact that Humaira disappeared from social media in 2024. She stopped posting. She stopped paying rent. And for someone who was always online, the sudden silence was not normal at all. Was she going through money problems? Was she depressed? No one knows for sure, but there were signs. For example, she had once said in an interview, "I'm very strict with myself. If I don't achieve the dreams I've seen, I won't forgive myself." And this kind of pressure can destroy a person from the inside. Inside her flat, the police found some things like drugs, and there was evidence that she may have been using them regularly. So, was it a result of being overdosed? But, considering it was Humaira herself, the fact of drug addiction raised some eyebrows. Because in an interview she once said, "Drugs are being widely used in schools and colleges. Very young kids are using narcotics, but I will never touch drugs." So, why were drug-like items found in her flat? But, when the police sent the items for testing, they turned out to be antidepressants, legal medicines that are often given to people who are going through depression or emotional breakdowns. True that in some countries you can get into trouble if you carry these medicines without a doctor's note, but these were not illegal in Pakistan. The only problem with these drugs is that when they are taken without proper care, they can cause serious health problems like heart failure. Add to that her intense workout routine, strict diet, emotional stress, and complete loneliness, it's a dangerous mix. It can break your body even if you're young. But the point that we just overlooked is, why did she feel depressed suddenly? People dug up her old interviews, and one clip started going viral. In it, she had said with full confidence, "This industry is full of hypocrites. I despise that hypocrisy. There are a few good people, yes, but most are fake." But what did she mean by that? Here's where things start to get darker, as the neighbors later said something chilling about her. They claimed that before they left for the village in September 2024, they often heard screaming from Humaira's apartment. It was loud shouting, angry and abusive words, like she was mad at someone and fighting. But she lived alone, so whoever she was screaming at must be on her phone. The initial questions led to her family. Did she have a fight with her brothers on call? Was she really thrown out of the house? Humaira left home 7 years ago to join the film industry. So what happened just 1.5 years ago that made her own family finally disown her? During the investigation, we got to know that Humaira used to sleep hugging her mother at her home. And it was October 2024 when Humaira Asghar spoke to her mother for the last time. After that, her mother called again and again, but no reply came. What's shocking is that no one from the family made any attempt to find out why a family member got silent for 8 months. So, do they know something that they want to cover up? No one was giving a clear answer, but suddenly, that silence broke in a mysterious way. A young man recently appeared in an interview who turned out to be Humaira's nephew. He said that Humaira was the first girl in their whole family to go into showbiz. But that step into the spotlight started a fire inside her home. Her brothers were furious. The moment people started seeing her photos online and leaving comments, they couldn't take it. They felt insulted. They thought their sister was bringing shame. They wanted her to stop in any way possible. But Humaira didn't. She loved acting. She didn't want to give up her career. And when she refused, things turned really ugly. Her father, who was a doctor, was never happy with her career. In the beginning, her mother had somehow convinced him to let her try. They agreed to give it 5 years. 5 years came and went. Then came the pressure. The final argument with her brothers happened just before they broke off contact completely. Many believe it was about a movie she was acting in. After that fight, her brothers stopped speaking to her, but her mother still tried. She kept calling. But Humaira hadn't called back since last October. After that, no one knows what happened to her. But suddenly, now, her brother came up with a twist. He arrived and took the body and quietly left for Lahore. When he was asked why they refused to take the body initially, he went into a complete denial. He defended, saying, "We never refused her body." Rather, he insisted, blaming the media for twisting the truth. Their aunt had died just days earlier, he said. The family was paralyzed by grief, not apathy. But someone else stepped forward and shattered that version. Humaira's sister-in-law, who is also her cousin, opened a new door in this mystery. She claimed Humaira actually was in contact with the family, very recently in fact. Moreover, she had stayed with them from August to October before returning to Karachi. That alone proved that the story about no contact for 2 years was a lie. And just after October, Humaira died. What she revealed next was even darker. The problem, she said, wasn't Humaira's work. It was her brother's. One of them was now bedridden and heavily medicated. But the sister-in-law hinted something wasn't right about that either. Humaira had been thrown out of the house suddenly. And before that, Humaira also feared the other brother was drugging his flesh and blood just to gain control of the property. But in Karachi, Humaira was sinking. She couldn't even afford rent. In desperation, she reached out to her mother. She wanted her share of the inheritance, a right given to her by Islamic law. But when she asked for it, something changed in the family. Her brothers turned cold. One of them reportedly snapped, "She will get nothing." Her mother could not say anything apart from shedding tears. To the outside world, it may have looked like a broken family, but inside, there was a war for land and power, which resulted in betrayal. In the last days of her life, Humaira wasn't just scared, she was paranoid. She asked for a new SIM card from her sister-in-law, but not in her name. She also warned her mother not to panic if her number ever stopped working. She even left a voice note, confirming her cousin had her ID, like someone trying to leave a trail, just in case. But why all these precautions? Was someone watching her? Or worse, was someone closing in? The answer might be hiding in another shocking twist that just changed the story and suspicion from family to something else. It all started with a letter. It was written by someone who says she was Humaira's close friend. This letter has now been officially given to the Inspector General of Sindh Police. And what the letter revealed is chilling. According to this letter, Humaira didn't die a natural death. She used the word maktula, which means someone who was killed. She named a man, Dr. Siram Sajjad, and claimed that he and his family were behind it. She even attached his photo and personal details with the complaint. According to the friend, Humaira and Dr. Sajjad were in a relationship. It was serious at first, but things went bad quickly. Dr. Sajjad once took Humaira's phone and deleted her personal pictures and videos. Then, he forced her to take substances, like ice and crystal meth, and made her drink alcohol. She didn't want to, but he forced her. Humaira herself told this to 2 people, the woman writing the letter and another friend who is also a doctor, Dr. Sayeda. The friend also claimed that Dr. Sajjad also took Humaira's money. He blackmailed her and threatened her again and again. Most importantly, things didn't just stop there. He even took her to his private farmhouse in Mirpurkhas. And what happened there was disturbing. He often held parties at this farmhouse. No wonder those are illegal parties, with immoral activities involving powerful men with no rules. And Humaira? She was just presented to them as an entertainment factor. She was assaulted there. They even recorded it. Because later, they used the videos to blackmail her. They tried to push her into more questionable relationships with powerful people. She kept saying no. She cried and begged her friends for help, but no one could. Dr. Sajjad's 2 sisters helped him do this. According to the letter, they are a mafia, and what they did was not just abuse, it was a trap, a full system to destroy Humaira's life. Now, this makes the whole case much bigger than it initially was, because if it is true, Humaira would not be the only one. It would expose a big racket. So, currently, all these claims are under investigation, and it's kind of true that many girls in the entertainment world go through the same thing. Fame looks beautiful from the outside, but behind the lights and cameras, there is fear, there is pressure, there is exploitation, and it's not just girls. Even boys are being targeted now. So now, we ask, what happened to Humaira? At this point, it looks like a serious murder. The only question is, why? Do you have any guesses to offer? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to know more updates on this case, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any update. See you soon.